The quadratic formula is a general formula that can be used to solve any quadratic equation that has been written in standard form. Once the equation is written in standard form, we identify the values of the coefficients a, b, and c and substitute them into the quadratic formula in order to find the solutions of the equation. We can derive the quadratic formula by solving ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0 using the process of completing the square. Remember that first we want to set up the left-hand side of this equation as a binomial so that we can complete the square. We'll do that by first dividing both sides of the equation by a, and then subtracting the third term, c over a, from both sides. This leads us to the equation x squared plus b over a times x equals negative c over a. Now, to make the left-hand side of this equation a perfect square trinomial, remember that we need to add 1/2 of the coefficient of x, that number squared, to both sides. Well, 1/2 times b over a, that whole quantity squared, would be b squared over 4a squared. So that is the value we need to add on both sides of our equation. Now we can proceed to factor the left-hand side, since it's a perfect square trinomial, as the quantity x plus b over 2a squared. And on the right-hand side, in order to add these two fractions, we need a common denominator. Note that we would need to multiply the first fraction by 4a over 4a in order to obtain a denominator of 4a squared. Now this matches the denominator of our second fraction. So we can add the numerators. And the right-hand side of our equation is b squared minus 4ac all over 4a squared. Now we'll use the principle of square roots. So we can say that x plus b over 2a is equal to plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 4a squared. Note that the denominator of that expression on the right-hand side of the equation is a perfect square, so we can take the square root of that and rewrite it as 2a. And finally, to isolate x, we need to subtract b over 2a from both sides. So we have x equals negative b over 2a plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. And since these two fractions have a common denominator, we can simply add the numerators to obtain x equals negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. This equation is the quadratic formula, which can be used to solve any quadratic equation.